getting answers from all across Northern California. This is the CBS 13 News This Morning.
And a very good Tuesday morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Bethany Crouch.
And I'm Ken Rudolph. Welcome to the CBS 13 News at 6 a.m. Breaking news out of England this morning. A 23-year-old man has been arrested in connection to yesterday's deadly attack in Manchester. The latest developments on this tragic story coming up.
Police still on the scene of a deadly shooting in North Sacramento. The latest on the search for the gunman. Good morning to meteorologist Laura Skirty.
Hey, good morning to you, Bethany, Ken, and all of our early morning viewers. Happy Tuesday, everyone. This day is off to a very mild start in many locations. You can see the beautiful orange hue in the sky as we look from our YOLO cam towards Sacramento. Current temperature in the capital city sitting right at 61 degrees. We're a bit milder in places like Marysville, Stockton at 64, 68 in Modesto. It's even 70 in Auburn. A little bit of that delta difference coming through Fairfield. In fact, the Fairfield area will be significantly cooler than the rest of the valley today and a bit breezier as well. As you head back toward the Bay Area, we'll actually see that marine layer kind of hanging on, making for a partly sunny and very cool day in San Francisco. Now, your Sacramento temperature already hitting 89 at noon, 95 at 2 p.m. We're on track to hit 98 again today. That's right where we were yesterday. Rest of the valley, a little bit away from that Delta influence, will be about 100 to 101 degrees today. So get ready for one more scorching day before we'll see some relief beginning tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much, Laura. Now to time saver traffic.
We'll check in with CHP Officer Eric Morales on your Tuesday. Eric, good morning.
Good morning, Bethany. Yeah, we're currently tracking 2 traffic collisions. Both of them are in the clearing stages. We have a 2-vehicle non-injury traffic collision southbound I-5 just north of Highway 50. Both vehicles are on the shoulder. Also, we have a solo minor injury traffic collision westbound I-80 just east of Madison Ave. That vehicle is actually cleared the roadway, so just be careful driving in that area. No further calls for service at this time. Your drive from Yolo County to Solano County in the Bay, traffic collision free. Back to you, Bethany.
All right, thanks so much, Eric. We'll see you soon.
Time now is 6:02 on this Tuesday morning, and British Prime Minister Theresa May is holding an emergency security meeting this morning following yesterday's deadly terror attack in Manchester, England. Here's what we know now.
Officials revealed overnight the Islamic State group claims that one of its members carried out this horrific attack. A 23-year-old man has also been arrested in connection with the blasts. We know at this point at least 22 people, including children, were killed and more than 50 others were wounded.
Investigators say a male suicide bomber detonated a bomb at the end of an Ariana Grande concert at the Manchester Arena. CBS 13's Terry Okita is in Manchester with the latest developments.
So let me set the scene for you. Just beyond this blue cherry picker, there are a set of stairs. Those stairs lead up to one of the main entrances of the arena. This arena seats 20,000 people. Last night, it was filled with teenagers and adolescents, the softest of targets for terrorists.
Oh my God.
The massive blast rocked Manchester Arena moments after pop star Ariana Grande left the stage.
We had a bang and I just run for my life.
At first, concert organizers tried to calm people down.
There's no problems here.
What?
But then panic set in, triggering a stampede at the sold-out venue.
People were screaming and literally jumping out of the seats.
Authorities in the UK say the attack was carried out by a male suicide bomber near the arena's ticket area. Law enforcement officials tell CBS News he traveled to the nearby Victoria station by train. They say his remains, as well as ball bearings from an explosive device, have been recovered from the scene.
And we believe at this stage the attack last night was conducted by one man. The priority is to establish whether he was acting alone.
The crowd was made up mostly of teens and their parents, many who'd come from out of town to see Grande's Dangerous Woman tour.
Will remember the concert, but probably for the wrong reasons.
The singer, who was not injured in the blast, tweeted her condolences to the victims, writing in part that she was broken. This morning, British Prime Minister Theresa May shared similar sentiments.
We struggle to comprehend the warped and twisted mind that sees a room packed with young children not as a scene to cherish, but as an opportunity for carnage.
Streets in and around Manchester remain on lockdown, while UK authorities tackle what could be their deadliest terror attack since 2005 in London. There are 400 police officers deployed for this operation. At this point, no one or no group has claimed responsibility, and authorities have not identified the attacker. In Manchester, England, I'm Terry Okita. Now back to you.
Thank you, Terry. Security patrols have increased around Madison Square Garden in New York following the Manchester attack. While the Department of Homeland Security says there is no evidence of a credible threat against music venues in the United States, we will likely see increased security at some public places and events. We will be monitoring this developing situation in England as new information continues to pour in. We will have more on the deadly attack throughout the hour. Time now is 6:05 on this Tuesday morning. And developing this morning, police are searching for the gunman in a deadly shooting in North Sacramento.
So this happened just after 5 o'clock yesterday evening along Lily Street near I-80. That's where CBS 13's Na Nguyen joining us live this morning. She has the details. Na, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. We're here at the intersection of Lily Street and North Avenue. You can see over my left-hand shoulder right there, Sacramento police still on scene, as well as the family and friends of the victims involved in this situation. We did ask if they would speak to us. It's no surprise that they don't want to talk to us right now, as they're still waiting themselves for details from the police and investigators about what exactly happened to their loved ones. Details right now are still limited, but investigators tell us that at least 2 men were shot. One died at the scene and the other was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. It's unclear right now if the suspects knew the victims. And again, all those details about what happened are still being gathered at this point. Not too long ago, photographers came in, were taking pictures of what happened. And again, Sacramento police officers say they still will be processing the scene for quite some time, at least a few more hours. So if folks are coming down this way, please be aware that Lily Street from North and Harris is blocked off at this time. If you're trying to get through, it is likely that you won't be able to. Of course, as we get any new details, we'll let you know.
All right, Na Nguyen reporting for us in North Sacramento. Thank you for the update now.
Breaking news in Stockton this morning as firefighters battle a house fire.
Rescue crews rushed one person to the hospital. CBS 13's Wendy Aguilar joining us live from the scene. She has the latest. Wendy, good morning.
Ken and Bethany, we unfortunately just confirmed from the fire department that a dog was killed in this fire earlier today. Now, according to officials, this all started just around 5 this morning. Now, take a look at this video from earlier today. Fire officials say there's a lot of damage left behind, smoke and fire damage. One person taken to the hospital. That person transported to UC Davis Medical for serious burns, and a lot of smoke and fire damage left behind at this home. Out here, you can see fire officials are still on scene, collecting evidence, trying to figure out exactly what happened. At this point, they don't know the cause of the fire, and it's still under investigation. But again, one person taken to that hospital with serious burns, and one dog was killed earlier today during that fire. Guys, we'll send it back over to you.
All right. Wendy Aguilar with the update on that fire there in Stockton. Thank you, Wendy.
Time now 6:08. A robbery in the Roseville Galleria shocked afternoon shoppers. This happened yesterday. Police say a group of masked men using baseball bats smashed display cases at Devon's Jewelers. It only took seconds for the group to run in, smash the glass, and get away. This video shows one of the men quickly reaching his hand inside the display case before then running out of that mall. Ryan Scotton was inside Devon's Jewelers when the whole thing happened. He says their faces and bodies were covered from head to toe.
I dropped to the floor, snuck out of the store, ran out of the mall and hid behind some bushes, and then I saw them all taking off afterwards.
A spokesperson for Roseville PD says a police helicopter happened to be in the air at the time. It tracked the suspect's car to the area of Watt and Marconi in Sacramento. And after roughly an hour of searching the scene, police detained 5 people and took them in for questioning. President Donald Trump says he hopes to achieve the toughest deal of all, peace in the Middle East. The president wraps up his trip to Israel this morning.
CBS 13's Hannah Daniels has more on the president's first foreign trip as commander-in-chief.
On his final day in the Middle East, President Trump met with Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas at the presidential palace in Bethlehem, working on his toughest deal yet between two nations that have not held direct talks for more than 3 years. Palestinian officials hope the president's visit to the biblical city will reopen a path towards resuming long-stalled Israeli-Palestinian peace negotiations.
If Israel and the Palestinians can make peace, it will begin a process of peace all throughout the Middle East.
But the president's efforts were overshadowed during a meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. When he revisited claims he revealed sensitive Israeli intel with top Russian diplomats earlier this month.
Just so you understand, I never mentioned the word or the name Israel. Never mentioned it during that conversation.
Back at home, the president's connection to Russia is intensifying. A report from the Washington Post claims President Trump asked two top intelligence officials to publicly deny the existence of any evidence that his 2016 campaign colluded with Russia. Both the director of national intelligence, Dan Coats, and the director of the National Security Agency, Michael Rogers, reportedly refused.
On the next leg of his international tour, President Trump will travel to Rome to meet Pope Francis, and then he'll head to Brussels to see NATO leaders. Happening today, the suspect accused of fatally shooting a teen at a house party over a song dispute is scheduled to appear in court. Witnesses say 18-year-old Keyshawn Henderson was not invited to the Friday night Foothill Farms party, but when he did not like a song, he started a fight. The settlement conference is set to continue this morning at 8:30 in Sacramento Superior Court. And the Stanislaus Sheriff's worker killed in a car crash last weekend will be laid to rest today. Funeral services for Deputy Jason Garner are scheduled at Cross Point Church in Modesto. The service is set to begin at 10 a.m. this morning and will be open to the public. Services for Community Service Officer Rochelle Johnson will be held tomorrow.
Time now 6:11. The Reverend Al Sharpton will hold a press conference at the state capitol protesting Assembly Bill 284. So that bill seeks to create an independent review team made up of prosecutors and law enforcement officers who would examine officer-involved shootings. Now, Sharpton is opposed to that. The conference is scheduled between 9:15 and 9:30 this morning at the west side of the Capitol. Thunder Valley Casino Resort in Lincoln looking to hire more than 50 new employees at their job fair. It's happening today. Positions include everything from housekeepers to janitorial porters, dishwashers, and more. Candidates must be at least 18 years old and should successfully pass a drug test. That job fair starts at noon today at the casino.
Still ahead on this Tuesday morning, away we go. On to the NBA Finals again. The Warriors dominate. Highlights from their victory over the Spurs when we return. Hey, Laura.
Hey guys, here's a live look outside. 6:12 now on a Tuesday morning. Ooh, you get a double sunrise from this point of view over the downtown Stockton Marina. Sun reflecting off the water and a beautiful start to what is shaping up to likely be the hottest day so far this spring. Stay tuned for more.
Time now is 6:15 on this Tuesday morning.
And meteorologist Laura Skirty is standing by. Okay, so we survived Monday.
Yes.
So that's the good news. We got through, and it was woo.
It was woo.
It was woo.
It was officially record woo in Modesto. 100 degrees tied the old record there back in 1967. Now we hit 101 in Stockton. That was actually a degree shy of the record, I'm sure. Everyone in Stockton says that's okay. Let that record stand.
Right.
Sacramento, we hit 98, 99 degrees, not quite 100. There's a great shot. Gosh, beautiful, calm Sacramento River this morning. But we are on our way to triple-digit heat again today for much of the valley. That Delta breeze is kind of back in full force tomorrow, and you'll feel a significant drop in temperatures beginning Wednesday. By Friday, highs will be 15 to 20 degrees cooler than what we're talking about today, so you do have that to look forward to. After mid-90s in the foothills yesterday, no surprise that Auburn is still at 70 this morning. We're at 67 in Oroville. Other valley temperatures have dropped into the low 60s right around Sacramento, and that is thanks to a little bit of that Delta influence. Look at Fairfield at 55 degrees. Sacramento's temperature is actually running a little cooler compared to yesterday at this time, while the rest of the valley is warmer, and it is because of that marine layer, the low cloud deck, and the onshore flow from the Bay Area coming through Fairfield with west winds at 15 miles per hour, having just a slight effect on Sacramento this morning. But it's only going to be the difference of a degree or two as we head through the rest of the day, because the predominant feature still here on the jet stream map is that ridge of high pressure. A trough of low pressure moving across the Pacific Northwest tomorrow does send kind of a weak, cool frontal boundary our way. That's going to stall out for the rest of the week, so cool air will continue to filter in from the north. We'll even see a few passing clouds from time to time, and you will feel a big break when it comes to temperatures after today. So nothing but sunshine for the valley foothills. Mountains, there's an isolated threat of maybe a little cloud, a little shower bubbling up this afternoon. Bay Area, a lot of that low cloud deck will be slow to clear today, so we'll call it a partly sunny day for you. It'll be a little cooler there next couple days as a result. And then a few high clouds start to move in Wednesday as we start to see those temperatures shift a bit. Today, still talking about 100 degrees for Manteca, Modesto, Turlock, even 101 in Patterson. Look for 100 in Tracy, Stockton, 99 for Lodi. Also 99 in Elk Grove, in Roseville, 98 for Folsom, Sacramento, Woodland. Fairfield, you'll be a bit breezy, Vacaville too, and as a result, you'll see temperatures in the low to mid 90s with a bit of that Delta influence. But you get away from that and up toward Oroville, we are still expecting 100. 90 for Sonora today, 93 in Auburn and in Georgetown. Look for mid and upper 80s in the Chester area, in Grass Valley, even Truckee making it to 82 today, a sunny, warm one in the Sierra. And then the clouds along the coast keeping Monterey and San Francisco in the 60s. Amazing. And just what a short geographical distance, you can see such a different weather pattern. The highs for the valley drop into the upper 80s Wednesday, low 80s Thursday, even right around 80 Friday. But guys, for the holiday weekend to come, we will be warming up again. In fact, into the low 90s again by Memorial Day. That still, though, is an improvement from the triple digits.
That's for sure. Thank you, Laura.
All right, thanks, Laura. 6:18 now on your Tuesday. We'll look at stories making headlines. 3 puppies died in a Modesto house fire yesterday. The Modesto Bee reports firefighters arrived on scene just after noon. They were able to get the dogs out of the home, but were unable to resuscitate them. Residents, however, were able to escape safely, so that's the good news there. The Animal Friends Connection in Lodi has seen a surge in abandoned pets in recent weeks. The Lodi News Sentinel reports someone dumped a mother dog and 2 puppies outside the shelter yesterday. Rescue officials say leaving pets just dropped outside the shelter poses a threat, as those animals can then go out into the street and be injured. They ask you just bring those animals inside during business hours. On to Solano County now, where officials participated in the 2nd annual homeless outreach event. According to the reporter, the goal was to identify homeless clients and then warn them that they may have to leave the area, then offer services those people may need. The event will continue through tomorrow. A round of graduation scheduled this week for Butte County students. The Enterprise Record reports Butte College going to be handing out more than 1,200 degrees to graduates this week. The main graduation ceremony will take place Friday night. Congratulations to all the graduates on a job well done.
Time now is 6:19 on this Tuesday morning, and in this morning sports report, the Warriors and Spurs squared off in Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals. Leading into last night's matchup, the Warriors were up 3-0.
Here's Durant, alley up to Green.
Yep, that's pretty much how it went all night long. Durant to Draymond Green for the slam from beginning to end. The Warriors are in control. They get the win. Final score here, 129-115. They sweep the Spurs to advance to their 3rd consecutive NBA Finals.
Here's a base hit for Belt. Panic, trying to score. The throw by Zobrist is not in time. Panic.
Giants get off to a great start. They get a lot of hits early, and they keep the hits coming as they take on the world champion Chicago Cubs. They get 6 on the board before Chicago can get even 1. But the Cubs seem poised for a comeback after getting 4 runs in the 8th. That's usually when the Giants' bullpen starts to fold, but not this time. They hang on. Giants beat the world champions 6-4. Well, Wall Street is making up for a big sell-off.
And it's no secret, weddings can be a little bit pricey, just a little bit. Apparently the cost could be going up. CBS 13's Jill Wagner joining us live from New York on this Tuesday morning. Jill, good morning to you.
Good morning, Ken and Bethany. Looking at the big board right now, the Dow is up. Futures, are pointing to a little bit of a higher open. Markets have nearly made up the losses from last week's massive sell-off. The Dow rose 90 points yesterday. The Nasdaq jumped 50. The Trump administration is sending its first full budget to Congress today. It balances the books by cutting a lot of programs for lower-income Americans and relying on faster economic growth. So this plan would cut millions of people from food stamps, slash Medicaid, and pump about $200 billion into infrastructure spending as a way to create jobs. Oil prices are falling, though, on word that President Trump's budget calls for tapping into a U.S. petroleum reserve and selling about half of the nearly 700 million barrels in it. It would raise about $16 billion over the next decade. But a global oversupply has been what's sending oil prices lower in the past 2 years. So we'll see how that one plays out. Ken, Bethany?
All right, Jill. So this is something that our newly engaged friend, Jill Wagner, is probably learning. Weddings are pricey, and Jill, the price tag just keeps on going up.
It is insane, okay? And I guess I'm not alone here. Couples are spending nearly double the amount from 10 years ago. A new report from Wedding Wire found the average wedding now costs about $28,000 for approximately 124 guests. It comes as more couples are having wedding themes, adding specialty wedding drinks, and having other personal touches. So at least I'm not alone in this process, Ken and Bethany.
No. You could always elope. You could always elope.
We feel your pain, and the elope.
Don't tell my mom, okay?
Mom probably would not be happy about the elopement, but it takes a lot of stress out, I would imagine.
There you go. Whatever you do, Jill, good luck. We're here for you. We're here for you.
It's fun, though. You know what? It's all good. It's a lot of fun. It's nice to be planning something for both families, I got to say. That's not even being politically correct. I mean
it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful event. Good luck, whatever you choose to do. Jill Wagner, always great talking to you. Jill, live from New York this morning. We'll talk to you again later on. Have a great day.
And of course, we will be invited to the wedding, obviously. I mean, being her West Coast friends.
Of course.
Clearly that's happening. That was a given, right?
Foregone conclusion.
All right, stay with us. We've got more news, weather, and traffic.
I've already picked out a suit and everything, and I got plans.
Clock coming up on 6:26 now. Our team of weather watchers, very mild this morning. We've got 60 in Woodland, 63 in Wilton, 63 in Sacramento. Look at this temperature. Joe in Antelope, 69 degrees. Will not take long to heat up today. Sacramento's high 98. Much of the rest of the valley going to see 100 today. Foothills, you'll be in the mid-90s.
All right, Laura, thanks so much. Time now is 6:25 on your Tuesday morning. Now to your time saver traffic. We'll check in with CHP Officer Eric Morales. Good morning to you, Eric.
Good morning, Bethany. Yeah, we're only tracking a two-vehicle non-injury traffic collision southbound I-5 just north of Highway 50. One vehicle is on the shoulder. We're trying to get actually make that a center divide. We're trying to get CHP and a tow truck en route on over there to safely move that vehicle from the center divide to the shoulder. Your drive from Yolo County to Solano County and the Bay, traffic collision free. Back to you, Bethany.
All right, Eric, thanks so much. We'll check back in with you in just a bit. The number of norovirus cases in Yolo County is quickly rising. How many students are now affected and how long health officials say this could linger? And it's a new day in England as authorities continue investigating yesterday's deadly attack in Manchester. We will have the latest developments just right after the break.
Getting answers from all across Northern California. This is the CBS 13 News This Morning.
And a very happy Tuesday morning to you. Good morning, everybody. I'm Bethany Crouch.
And I'm Ken Rudolph. Welcome to the CBS 13 News at 6:30 a.m. Trending at 6:30. If you have financial regret, you are not alone. A new survey from Bankrate.com says about 73% of Americans do. The most common cash concern is not saving for retirement early enough, followed by not saving enough for emergency expenses, plus taking on too much credit card debt. For millennials, the top of the list is student loan debt.
Take a look at this. It's a piece of space history that's going to be hitting the auction block. It's a bag used by astronaut Neil Armstrong to bring the first sample of lunar material ever collected back to Earth. Armstrong was the first human to walk on the moon. The current owner recently sent that bag to NASA, which confirmed, yes, it is genuine. The auction will be held July 20th on the anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing. The bag is expected to bring between $2 and $4 million at auction. The current owner plans to donate part of the proceeds to charity.
Wow, that is cool.
That is amazing, isn't it? What an interesting artifact. My goodness. All right, good morning, everyone. It's 6:31. I'm meteorologist Laura Skirty. All right, it was a hot one yesterday. It's going to be an even hotter one in some spots today. Modesto, look at you. Sunny already. You tied a record of 100 yesterday. The old record was set all the way back in 1967. Stockton hit 101. Sacramento hit 99, both just shy of the record. No surprise, we're starting off in the low 60s, even upper 60s in Oroville, Modesto, and 70 in Auburn. Little bit of a delta influence through Fairfield, Vacaville. That could be the difference between a high of 98 in Sacramento today and highs of about 100 for the rest of the valley. And look how fast those temperatures rise. We'll already be above our normal high in the mid-80s by noontime today. Now, that delta breeze will have a broader impact beginning tomorrow, starting to bring temperatures down. Would you believe by Friday, high temperatures will be 15 to 20 degrees cooler than the triple-digit heat of today. So we'll talk more about those changes to come in your full forecast in just a few.
All right, thank you so much, Laura. Breaking overnight, a 23-year-old man has been arrested in connection with the terrorist attack in Manchester, England. The Islamic State group says one of its members carried out the bombings. 22 people were killed and at least 59 others injured after a suicide bomber detonated a bomb at the end of an Ariana Grande concert near the ticket area. Authorities say the victims include children. The concert was packed with teens and their parents. Law enforcement says the male suicide bomber's remains, as well as ball bearings from an explosive device, have been recovered from the scene.
We believe at this stage the attack last night was conducted by one man. The priority is to establish whether he was acting alone.
This was a barbaric attack, deliberately targeting some of the most vulnerable in our society.
Campaigning ahead of the country's June general election has been suspended.
President Donald Trump slamming those behind the Manchester attack, calling them, quote, losers. He reiterated his call to drive out terrorists.
So many young, beautiful, innocent people living and enjoying their lives murdered by evil losers in life.
Trump calling on all countries to unite in the fight against terrorism. He proclaimed, quote, this wicked ideology must be obliterated. Meanwhile, a concert goer captured the moment that bomb went off.
Now, we want to warn you, this video is very frightening and it's difficult to watch and listen to. Here we go.
Oh my God. What's going on? What just happened? What's going on?
People near the explosion screamed and ran away, but those farther from the blast say they were not sure what had happened. You can get the latest updates on this tragic event online using Twitter, Facebook, and through our website at cbs13.com. Time now is 6:34 on this Tuesday morning. Breaking news in Rockland as police investigate a deadly crash.
As CBS 13's Sean Bennett joins us live. He's at Taylor Road with the very latest. Here, Sean, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. And we can tell you the road has now since reopened, all traffic flowing smoothly through this section of Rockland here. We'll go ahead and show you some of the video. Rockland police confirmed to CBS 13 it was a male in his 20s who lost his life just after 3 o'clock this morning. Police say the male was a Rockland resident traveling northbound on Pacific Street when he lost control and slid off his motorcycle. Police say there were no witnesses to the accident, but somebody from a 7-Eleven right near the accident scene came out and saw the motorcycle on its side and called 911. Coroner has already come and gone. The motorcycle has been taken away from the accident scene, and again, all lanes back open here in Rockland this morning. Bethany, Ken, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Sean Bennett reporting live for us this morning in Rockland. Thank you for the update, Sean.
New this morning, Sacramento police are searching for 3 robbery suspects. Officers received the call at about 1:50 this morning along Harding Avenue. Investigators started looking for the men near American Avenue and Jefferson Avenue. Police did not release what, if anything, was taken or who that victim was in this robbery.
The San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office asking for the public's help. Take a good look at your screen. They want you to identify this armed robbery suspect. The incident happened just after 10 o'clock Friday night on North Wilson Way near Mistletoe Avenue in Stockton. The unidentified suspect was armed with a handgun. Anyone with information is urged to contact the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office.
A family is praising Sutter County first responders for saving their daughter. 23-year-old Megan Russell was left for dead inside a car flipped in a canal. First responders heard her breathing and pulled the car up and got Megan out. After 2 minutes, she started breathing, and after 2 days in the ICU, doctors say she will survive.
Everybody says, you know, they believe in God. There's a God. There's a God. Otherwise, this wouldn't happen. I mean, this is a miracle.
Officer Stephen Klippel and Battalion Chief Richard Epperson say Megan must have tried to swim up through the trunk for air before nearly drowning. 27-year-old Travis Stanton is being charged with felony DUI. Those charges may be enhanced later today during his arraignment that is set for 3 this afternoon in Sutter County. We're following breaking news this morning in Stockton. Firefighters are battling a house fire and 1 person has been taken to the hospital.
CBS 13's Wendy Aguilar joining us live. She's there at the scene with the details. Wendy, good morning.
Ken and Bethany, and officials say that the pet on that house, a dog, was also killed during that fire. Now you can see out here police have placed yellow tape as the investigation continues, and in the background you can see Firefighters are still on scene collecting evidence, talking to residents in the area, trying to figure out exactly how that fire started. Now, take a look at this video from earlier today. Fire officials say it all started around 5 this morning. That house sustained a lot of smoke and fire damage. This is near Washington, and this is on Washington near D Street in Stockton. And officials say this all started just a little after 5. Firefighters rushed to the scene and they quickly put out that fire within about 10 minutes. However, fire officials say one person was transported to the hospital with serious burns, and the dog inside that home was also killed. At this time, investigators are still trying to figure out exactly what caused that fire. But for now, we'll send it back over to you.
All right, Wendy Aguilar live for us this morning in Stockton. Thank you for that update, Wendy.
The public seems to really enjoy us having these cameras.
The trial period is over. Body cameras will soon be worn by every Sacramento police officer. The $4 million program over the next 5 years is meant to be as a way to increase transparency.
CBS 13's Drew Balea has more on just how this camera system works.
The lens is up here. The police and public will soon see things from a different view. There's a large activator button here in the front. The body cameras are currently worn by 180 officers, but each of the roughly 700 officers with the department will be outfitted by the end of September. By simply having a camera present when people know that they're being recorded, it actually lowers incidences of assaults on officers and lowers complaints as well. Officers on the street say they've noticed a difference.
They're belligerent towards us, and we show them that they are being recorded. Their behavior changes quite frequently to the better, so I love it.
In the past, police had to rely on their vehicle cameras and officer statements. McPhail says the body cameras will increase transparency about their work.
It will go a long way to beginning to build those bridges of trust.
Joy Johnson with Sacramento ACT says this is a step in the right direction.
The video camera can't tell the whole story. It is at least starting to capture some of the story.
She says more policy, procedure, and culture changes are needed.
I hope it will be accompanied by some accountability, so that we're not just looking at some exciting film.
The cameras are only activated by the officers, which Sonia Lewis with Black Lives Matter says is a problem.
How are we going to make sure that they're turning them on every time?
Lewis says the body cameras are only the start of the conversation about better police practices.
Who's going to make sure that those law enforcement officers, when they are found doing something wrong, that they're going to be held accountable?
And that was Drew Balea reporting. Video will be kept for 18 months. Police will be able to review video, but they will have no ability to edit nor delete. According to a city ordinance, video of an officer-involved shooting must be made public within 30 days. Black Lives Matter protesters were out in front of Governor Brown's office at the state capitol yesterday over what they say is an injustice over police brutality and accountability, specifically in officer-involved shootings.
We're tired of being in pain, and no one is considering the community's pain. And so we are here to say enough is enough.
Black Lives Matter protesters are calling for an independent investigation when it comes to police shootings. Time now 6:40 on your Tuesday morning. Meteorologist Laura Skirty is standing by.
Yes, I am. And here's a live look at the beautiful Sacramento River in the early morning commute. 61 in the capital city to get you going on this Tuesday. It's going to be a lot hotter than that this afternoon, but we've got big relief coming just before the holiday weekend. More on that next.
All right, Laura, and the New York Stock Exchange just opened. Take a look at the big board, up more than 33 points. We'll be right back. Time now is 6:44 on this Tuesday morning.
And meteorologist Laura Skirty joining us.
Yes.
So hello.
Hello, guys. We had some record heat yesterday. Tied a record.
I had heard about that.
Yeah, 100 in Modesto and hit 101 in Stockton.
Yes, I think that was the technical term we went with.
Woo!
Yeah, exactly.
Record woo. Another woo day today. That's the best way to put it, because about 100 degrees, very likely for many valley locations up around Sierra Tahoe. Beautiful, clear view there of the lake. Would you even believe Tahoe locations are going to hit the 80s today? Yes. It's still only 36, though, in Truckee this morning and 40 in South Lake Tahoe. A little bit of that temperature inversion going on in the foothills. That's why Auburn is so mild at 72. And then we bottom out at 61 here on the valley floor in Sacramento. That is also due to a little bit of that Delta influence coming through from Fairfield. You can see it's a lot warmer places like Modesto and Oroville. You're in the upper 60s to get us going on this Tuesday morning, running a little bit warmer in some spots as compared to yesterday at this time. Let's talk about that Delta breeze. It's coming through Fairfield out of the west at 15 miles per hour. The immediate Fairfield-Vacaville area back toward the bay will feel a little bit of the cooling effects from that marine layer and onshore flow. That might be the difference between a high of 98 in Sacramento and 100 elsewhere across the valley today, where we don't get as much of that Delta influence. The overwhelming influence is still that ridge of high pressure. I'll pop on the jet stream map and show you, though, that trough is now arriving in Canada and dips down into the Pacific Northwest by tomorrow. That will actually send a weak, cool frontal boundary our way, and that's the biggest impact this thing is going to have. Significantly cooler temperatures to come beginning tomorrow. Let's talk about sky conditions. The marine layer hangs on a bit for the Bay Area today. We'll call it a partly sunny day there. With the uplift here in the mountains, we could see a few clouds bubble up this afternoon. Not really expecting much in the form of any rain showers, though, popping up. And then tomorrow, you'll notice perhaps a few additional high clouds streaming through. You will also notice the temperatures start to be a little more tolerable tomorrow. And by the end of this week, we're going to see high temperatures a good 15 to 20 degrees cooler than what we're talking about today. So that's a pretty quick cool down. 101 on tap for Patterson on this hot Tuesday, 100 in Manteca, 100 in Turlock, about 99 for the Lodi area. Sacramento, 98 degrees today, 100 for Marysville, 99 in Roseville and in Elk Grove. But back toward Vacaville, thanks to a little of that Delta influence, we'll keep it at 94. You get away from the breeze up toward Oroville, Chico, 100 for you. 93 for Jackson and Auburn today. Foothills quite toasty. Look for mid and upper 80s in Pollock Pines. Also in Grass Valley, we should hit 90 in Quincy. I mentioned it's going to be a hot one around the Tahoe region as well, with a high of 82 degrees in Truckee and near 80 in South Lake Tahoe. If you'd like to cool off, at least you don't have to go far when you live here in Northern California. Monterey, San Francisco, I should say, you're going to stay in the 60s today. San Jose, though, on the way to 83. A little breezy this afternoon in Fairfield, 90, with those west-southwest winds 15 to 25 miles per hour. The temperature for the valley does take a little dip beginning tomorrow into the upper 80s and then down to 84 Thursday, right around 80 Friday. That's where the cool down ends. The Memorial Day holiday weekend will be warming with mid 80s Saturday, upper 80s Sunday, and we'll be right back into those low 90s Monday. But that's pretty ideal weather to celebrate the unofficial kickoff to summer, right?
There you go.
Looks good.
Thanks, Laura. Coming up after our show on CBS this morning,
Nora O'Donnell joining us live from New York with a preview. Good morning to you, Nora. Happy Tuesday.
Hey, happy Tuesday. Good morning to you, Ken and Bethany. Ahead, Scott Pelley leads our team from Manchester, England, with the latest on the deadly terror attack at an Ariana Grande concert. We're learning more about the victims, and we'll hear from witnesses. We'll also talk with former Homeland Security Advisor Fran Townsend and former Deputy Director of the CIA, Michael Morrell. We're also in Israel with President Trump's big speech this morning and strong words about the attack. All that plus the eye-opener, your world in 90 seconds. We'll see you right at 7.
All right, Nora, thanks so much.
well, our spring sizzle could hit or what could be its peak. It probably did it yesterday, but even as temperatures soared in the valley to some of the year's highest, great skiing was still an option. It's all thanks to the historic snowpack in the mountains.
CBS 13's Steve Large has more on the unusual options for snow lovers entering the summertime.
It's a highway to heaven for ski lovers. As spring turns to summer, Interstate 80 eastbound is turning into a Snow Seeker 500. It's California's historic stormy winter aftermath, a snowpack abundance. From the heat in the valley to the breeze in the mountains, and yes, all this snow that's still here. At 6 o'clock Monday, the temperature at Squaw Valley was a cool 75 compared to West Sacramento's scorching 96 degrees. And people were here to beat the heat. Mariana Aguilar came as a gift to herself for college graduation.
So Chico's running about 100 degrees right now. We just had graduation over at Chico State and we were pretty much smoking in the heat.
At Squaw Valley Ski Resort, the snowpack is at 199 feet. That's equal to the amount the resort received all year during some stretches of the drought.
So the base depth of that much is just phenomenal, and it's May 22nd.
For only the 4th time ever, Squaw Valley will stay open on the 4th of July, and then may decide to stay open all year.
But beyond the 4th of July, it's never been done. We believe with this season's historic snowfall and the snowpack that we have that it's possible.
It's a ski season that's once in a lifetime for Lee Doobie, who skied here 40 years.
And there's so much snow now that they actually had to take a chairlift and dig out underneath the chair so that chair could pass up to the top.
Summer's almost here, and all this snow is still here too.
All right, now all that snowpack that Steve showed us, It means good news for waterfalls in the Sierra. There are even some waterfalls that have reappeared for the first time in about 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Horsetail Falls off Highway 50 near the town of Strawberry is bursting with water, and hikers are taking it in. If you're interested in checking it out, you should check with the Forest Service for conditions and regulations before making the trip.
In this morning's Health Watch, a man who ate nacho cheese at a local gas station has died from botulism. The 37-year-old man is one of 10 people sickened by the tainted cheese dip sold at the Valley Oak Food and Fuel gas station in Walnut Grove. The Department of Public Health confirmed yesterday, yes, that nacho cheese tested positive for botulism. The agency says the cheese is no longer for sale. Meanwhile, public health officials continue investigating the death of another man possibly linked to botulism. According to authorities, the Antioch man died Thursday after slipping into a coma. At this time, there is no indication that his death is tied to the botulism outbreak connected to that tainted nacho cheese dip sold at the gas station in Walnut Grove. The number of norovirus cases in Yolo County has risen to more than 2,800. That's a big jump from the nearly 2,100 cases reported just a week ago. Health officials say it could linger on school campuses through the end of this academic school year.
In your eye on entertainment, breaking news from Britain this morning, actor Roger Moore has passed away. His family made the announcement on Twitter, saying, quote, "With the heaviest of hearts, we must share the awful news that our father, Sir Roger Moore, passed away today. We are all devastated," end quote. Moore was best known for playing James Bond, and he starred in 7 Bond films. The BBC is reporting he died in Switzerland and will have a private funeral in Monaco. Roger Moore was 89 years old. Well, CBS News 48 Hours has launched a series featuring some of the most fascinating cases of the NCIS.
And narrated by Rocky Carroll, it features the real-life agents and the cases they just cannot forget. Here's a preview.
We had gotten a duty call from Leanne Brown's chief petty officer. Because Leanne Brown had not reported to work and had not called her chief petty officer to say, "I'd be late" or "I'm going to be sick," the chief thought this was very unusual and notified NCIS. A missing sailor for one day is not a felony case, but I had 20 years of experience and a gut instinct told me there was something there. Don't ignore this. This case initiated in June of 2001. A civilian had noticed 2 bodies laying a short distance off the road in the woods in Prince George's County.
Ooh, I just got chills. Here's a look at what else is coming up on CBS 13 tonight. NCIS is at 7, followed by a new episode of Bull at 8. And then you've got that special episode of 48 Hours NCIS at 9. Join us back here for the CBS 13 News at 10 p.m.
Coming up on our sister station, CW31, members of Phi Gamma Delta at Western Kentucky University, well, they began a bike journey from San Francisco to Virginia Beach on Saturday.
So their goal is to spread awareness and raise money for Alzheimer's disease. Today, we're going to be meeting with bikers as they pass right through Sacramento. We'll learn more about their mission. That's coming up on Good Day Sacramento at 7 a.m.
All right, that's it for me. Join me over on our sister station, CW31, for Good Day, starting at 7 o'clock.
And I'll see you over there at 8 a.m. But stick around. I've got news, weather, and traffic right after the break.
Deal.
Deal.